Hi, welcome. I'm WA. I have a Seascape tutorial for you today using my Mijello watercolor palette. A few videos back, I posted a video swatching all of the colors I have here with the pigment information and everything. But just as a refresher, I have lemon yellow, yellow ochre number 1, yellow orange, rose madder, perm rose, ultramarine deep, peacock blue, Van Dyke brown, and burnt sienna. I'll show you, it's a very simple tutorial today. I'll show you how to get the drawing done and everything else. So you're gonna start with I'm using my Legion watercolor paper, Stonehenge cold press. I cut a sheet into 3.5 inches and I taped it down with masking tape. I have my brushes here, my paints, water, and a towel. Also, you're gonna need a paper towel or napkin to blot the sky and make clouds. Okay. So you're gonna decide where your horizon line is. I'm gonna do mine. Imagine cutting your paper into fourths. I'm gonna do 1/4, more or less. Maybe like that. For the sky, we're gonna do a gradient of dark blue, blue, yellow, orange, and a dark red right on the line. For the sky, we are going to do peacock blue, with ultramarine deep. For the top of the sky, it's going to be darker than the middle, so take your peacock blue ultramarine deep, and Van Dyke brown. I added the ultramarine deep because I feared that by simply using the peacock blue and the Van Dyke brown, we might get a greenish color instead of a neutral or a darker blue, but we'll see. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, if you add too much, it's gonna turn green, and we don't want that. See how that's darker than our first mixture? That's fine. For our orange, we're gonna get the yellow orange. And the rose madder. With a dab of the burnt sienna. So it's more of a neutralized burnt orange type of color. You're gonna take your lemon yellow with only a tiny bit of yellow orange. Okay, again, yellow orange, rose madder. That was a lot of rose madder. That's fine. Ultramarine deep. It's gonna be this lovely mauve color. Mauve. Reddish purplish. With a bit of Van Dyke brown. Perhaps a bit of more yellow orange. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So the biggest size brush you have, you're gonna wet the sky. I'm using a number 8. Fill up your water with brush and just wet the paper. You don't want it to be soaking, you just want to see the sheen of the water over the paper. You don't want puddles, just wet enough. Okay, so the Peacock Blue Ultramarine Deep Mixture. And I have my fan on over me right now, so that might dry out my paper faster. So just try to do this quickly. I think I went too far down. You just want to kind of halfway. Oh, take your darker mixture over the top. Okay, before that dries, take your paper towel, fold it like this, tap it into the paper. Just make sure that you don't drag the paper across, because you're gonna ruin your paper. Make sure you don't drag your paper towel over your watercolor paper. Like that. That's fine. Okay. So take your lemon yellow, yellow orange mixture. Make sure you don't run it over the blue mixture a lot, because you're gonna get a green. Just lightly over the blue. While that's still wet, you're gonna take your yellow, orange, and rose madder mixture to make clouds. Just tap it in like that. Okay, take the darker mixture, run it along horizon line, like that, and then under the clouds. Like that. Since my paper dried, the top of the clouds are a bit too defined, is the word, and I want to blend it out. So I'm gonna wet my brush, dry it, and lightly go over the hardened line, like that. So you see how my color bled like into the yellow right here, the cloud? Just gonna run your clean brush down the cloud and define the line a bit more. That's fine. Okay, you're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna do the water. Now that the sky is dry, I'm gonna go back in with my number 8. For this, we're not gonna do the wet and wet technique. We're gonna do the wet and dry. So with the yellow orange rose madder, add a bit of rose madder to it till you get this orange pink. Tap the excess of water. See how when you tap the excess of water, your brush creates this brush stroke? That's what you want. Not too dry. Like that. Okay, you're gonna let that dry and we're gonna go back in with the blue. For this next part, I'm gonna switch to my number 4 brush, the smallest one I have. Go into your dark blue mixture, perhaps adding more ultramarine. You're gonna start at the horizon line right here. Drag your brush. Drag it down the edge right here. Now the other side. Clean off your brush and your towel. Too dry. Like that. Clean your brush, dry it, and drag it over. Drag it over the color so you can pull it out. And if it gets too light of a color, just add more. Go back in to the horizon, to the edges. Once again, clean your brush, dry it, drag the color out, go back into the color, run lines across, wash your brush, dry it, move it around, like that. So you see how we went in with a dry brush for the red underneath the blue? That created these tiny white speckles. Well, I covered pretty much all of them with the blue, but if you leave a few of them, you can mimic the waves and the water crashing without having to go back in with either gouache or a gel pen, the white gel pen. Okay, so with the smallest brush again, we're gonna make a black mixture. So take your ultramarine, add it here to that one we have already. Since this burnt sienna from Mijello has a yellow pigment, when mixed through the blue, most likely you're gonna get a greenish black, which you can go with that, but I don't want to, so I'm gonna go in with a Van Dyke brown. So go back and forth with the ultramarine deep and the Van Dyke until you get a dark neutral. I think this is it. Okay. So tap the excess of water and make sure your point is, well, pointy. And we're gonna go in with birds. Birds are simple, yet kinda not. So for the first one, let me see if I can zoom in. right here. You're gonna make a dot like that. And just drag your brush down. Sorry if my hand covered it up. Now we're gonna make just a line like that. With the wing going up and swivel like that. Like that. Another dot. Just try to do it with the point of your brush, otherwise the strokes are going to be too thick. Down here, a small line and a wing. Small line and a wing. Right here. A curved line like that. Go up and down. I think I want one more here. And there you have it. An easy seascape tutorial. Okay, let's peel the tape off. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, that it was easy to follow along. It's been a while since I've done one. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day. Bye.